Alright, I had to record this amazing conversation about Gonzo feminism. So, what is Gonzo feminism?
Gonzo feminism would be the other side, the dark side of feminism or womanism, or the side that we don't like to talk about.
Gonzo feminism. So, what is the dark side of feminism look like to you?
Let's say it this way. Gonzo feminism is a breed of third wave feminism that acknowledges second wave but sees it as incomplete. And not only that, it can get so deep, but ultimately, Gonzo feminism is about how, on the spot, can't think. Gonzo feminism nails the problem down to it expands our vision from looking at just one side of coin, which would be patriarchy, to the other side of the same coin, which would be matriarchy. You can't have one without the other, just the way you can't have light without darkness. It's two sides of the same coin. So if energies are polarized in one way or the other, they're not in equilibrium. And right now, this is what we're experiencing. We live in a patriarchy, which got put to power through capitalism, which was reinforced through the witch hunts. And, now we're evolving, quote unquote. We had three waves. We had the first wave, this was suffragettes, whatever the word I can't pronounce. First wave, feminism. It was basically, the plot of the story was man versus nature, like woman versus law and votes and being an equal in the law. So that was first wave feminism. Second wave feminism was like man versus man, if this was like a story plot, right? But it's woman versus woman. So it was really what happened there. No, we're woman versus men. So it was about, second wave feminism and corporate feminism is a prime example of that, Hillary Clinton. It was about the already empowered white woman or white upper class female to be more empowered and become a CEO and sit at the table. However, her Mexican nanny is still working for minimum wage. So, or her daycare keeper or whatever. So, second wave feminism was basically what it brought to us was it empowered the already empowered woman, and it's usually the white upper class female, or that Noam Chomsky describes as the weirds, the white educated. I don't know what the E is, whatever, you get the point. So upper class something. So rich, educated. I gotta look up the I and whatever.
Noam Chomsky said that?
Noam Chomsky said that.
Nice.
Yeah. And so we have like this weird, what happened in the 70s, through second wave feminism, where women went to the workforce and we joined the workforce and the elite, and we're sitting at the table with the boys, and yet we did not look back and be like, hey sister, come with me. How about you nanny, next time mixing nanny, you daycare teacher, or what about the ladies and the sisters in Sri Lanka or Philippines, and let's not even get into India. No, we're still part of the machine, and really all we have done is already empowered,
the rich white women who are already empowered.
Right. The I almost want to call it the cream of our, structural hierarchy or whatever. So long story short, we have gotten to that point. So second wave feminism was basically called on to women and pulled the housewife into the labor force. So now women are not only responsible for the reproduction of labor force, but also they're part of the labor. So not only has the father been for millennia removed from the family, but now we also, thanks to second wave feminism, remove the mother from the family, and our children are being raised by pissed off nannies who are working for an minimum wage, or usually foreigners, and again, the ones that second wave feminism didn't empower, and yeah. So long story short, our kids are growing up. There was actually done research done in 2002 that showed how based on daycare in the 80s, and the increase of daycare in the 80s and the 90s, and it showed um, how child aggression and aggression and depression and attention deficit and all those things and violence went skyrocketed at the same time that there was a skyrocketing increase in just children being enrolled in daycare. So that was second wave feminism, right? And now we are at this point where, okay, we have women like Hillary Clinton running for office, and what is she doing? What did she have to do and give up is everything that womankind stands for. She had to play the game and become just like the men in the field, because that's expected. So really, we have done no progress. We have become equals. That's great. That is great, but what's the whole point of becoming equal? We're getting to, in the same position that men are, in a CEO position, and being an equal, and just letting everything continue. So that, in my opinion, is not really progress. So that's okay, though. Third wave came out and then made it inclusive. So now we have a chicken, but no head, because we're all still trying to define third, and yet there has not been a common understanding of how we differentiate from second wave, right? And and then looking at that, like, you have some crazy folks or sisters thinking that they're so ahead of the curve, they're on fourth wave, and self-acclaimed Kim Kardashians, and what's that gamer chick? God, I can't something. Anita Kasarian, whatever. The ones that have nothing better to do and go in front of the UN and bitch about getting bullied online after making an ass of themselves.
Okay.
Right? You're really nothing better to complain about than being bullied. I mean, that's like playing the victim there. You're giving the opportunity to talk to the UN, and there's children dying in Syria, and there's parents, mothers putting their children on a boat and sending them on. You complaining about being internet bullied? Maybe you should grow a thicker skin before hitting the camera up, and the media and life and and
But aren't we victim blaming then if we're telling a girl not to go to the UN and complain about gamers? Aren't we betraying our race here?
The thing is that I believe haters are gonna be haters. You're gonna always have them. You can let it define you, refine you, or you're gonna let it define you or refine you. So you have the spotlight on you, and that's all you have to say at a turbulent time as such. And then you call yourself a feminist. When, let's remember that feminism has lost its meaning. Feminism was never girl power. That was what the Spice Girls told us and made us believe, but that's not what feminism is. And that's the beauty about third wave, because it already, thanks to people like Maya Angelou and a lot of incredible third wave feminists that I would call, they realize that feminism is all inclusive and intersectional. So that is a first step towards calling feminism a cosmic entity, or entity. So that cosmic entity is really, what is feminism? It's the guardian of vulnerability. It is not about empowering, well, we can get into that, but about vulnerability, because we all have vulnerability, but it's really what feminism has lost its meaning when women took feminism took womanism and called it feminism. And it was sold to us to media and documentaries like Misrepresentation, although she did make some really good points that we should take into consideration. However, again, it was from the point of a white upper class, educated, rich female. And who was she connected to? Since her husband is in politics, I assume the Clintons. Just makes sense. And especially seeing the spiel that I later on saw throughout the campaign playing out between Hillary Clinton and all the women that were in that documentary and interviewed, such as Rachel Maddow, supporting Hillary Clinton. Although we all know she is a criminal, one worse than her male counterparts. And if it was anybody else, she's done some great breakthrough things for womankind, yes. She's proven us that we can be just as evil. Bravo. I mean, thank you for, opening the pathway, but no thank you. We can take it from here. So,
what are the qualities you would like to see in a first female president of the United States of America?
Oh, boy. See, that is the mistake starts with saying qualities which would like to see in the first female president of America. That's already not gender egalitarian to begin with. So
what kind of qualities
what
would
I would
like
say in a woman. I would say what I see in a president in general.
Yeah. Good answer. That's a good answer.
I don't think that, again, like, the presidents are such big of an issue. I think down deep inside somewhere, Obama might have a heart for his children and his dog, and
Those
and
poodles,
same goes for Hillary, poodles. I'm sure, on a one-on-one level. I would get a good laugh at her and call her one of the smartest women I've ever met. No doubt. But the question is, who is in charge of a president?
I saw a video of Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State over in Africa, and they're like, so what are the positions of your husband? And she's like, my husband's not here, so we're not going to talk about the positions of my husband. Why are you asking me such a stupid question? And she went off on these African people, and it was the best clip. Like, if she would just be real like that and yell at people and be her bitchy ass self and just show that she has Parkinson's, I would vote for her in a hot minute. If she was just honest.
She has Parkinson's?
See? That's exactly the issues. Like, she's just hiding so much stuff. Well, yeah, supposedly she's got Parkinson's. That's why
she shakes and all.
Well, she does drug fasts like for 3 days before she is seen, like during debates or something like that. She'll disappear for like 4 days before it and not take her medication so that she can be like calm and have it down for the debate.
She's got the acting great down, just like Obama,
Obama's a really good actor.
They're incredible.
He can cry on command too.
Figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's where we gotta leave it at. The important thing is not about what we have. Let's look at what we want and see happening, and like, if you ask me what our mission is, or we were actually talking about like third wave, and we have already started. It's already there, but it's still like a chickenless head. And it's ultimately about just taking about something that has existed and has a very important function of creating an equilibrium. And that is to remember that feminism is not about just self-empowerment. It's about the definition of feminism. What is feminism? It is the cosmic, which is intersectional and all inclusive, guardian of vulnerability.
The cosmic
and vulnerability is in all life. Yeah,
vulnerability
in all life, because we have to integrate and we have to think ecology, and that's why some shock the energy within politics and just world organization and leadership is so important. And I think all of females, if you look at the statistics right now, women and girls are actually more likely to graduate from high school, and we are seeing a drastic drop of boys and men not making it to college. The charts are turning, the poles are shifting, on a planetary level, on a social level, on a universal level, maybe, who knows. But the poles are shifting, and even the statistics show that everything men used to outdo us most, it's shifting, you know?
Oh, definitely,
Who
definitely.
lives the longest? Women actually do.
Hmm.
I mean, there's
By a
some
good
mixed
amount. That's
research.
like 7 years. I think is the average. It's quite a bit.
And who lives the longest? Ones who love the most. I mean, who gets to be always the loving mother, even by gender role? The good cop, the mother. But you know, it we could go on forever and ever and ever. And the important thing is to just remember that what feminism is, and ultimately, feminism should only have one goal, and that is to get rid of all isms, including feminism, because at that point we won't need feminism anymore. So problem solved, like,
All right,
right?
I want to stop it, and then I want to do one about the witch hunts because that's really cool. All right.
Yeah.